As you can see, I'm out in the garden. It's very mild this morning. It's threatening to rain. You can see the park in the background, our gum trees and green grass. Looks as though it's my paddock, but in fact it doesn't belong to us. And it's just really pleasant to be outside after the very cold winter we've had. A couple of days ago, I spoke of my story. I talked about who I am and why I've started the channel. And there are very many reasons really that I've talked about, so if you want to go back and have a look, it's called My Story and it's very recent. So I had a comment from somebody asking if I would talk about 5 tips that I would say to other oldies that have helped me through the time. And it's so hard to choose 5. I sat down and brainstormed and came up with 12. In fact, there was a 13th and I can't quite remember what it is now. So I thought I'd read 5 of them today. They may not be my 5 best tips, but there's certainly some of them. And the number one, which I always say, is to keep a sense of humour. You might be going through awful times at the moment and you think, how can I possibly find something to laugh about or something to smile about? But truly, if you can find just one little thing to smile about or make a joke about it, some might call it black humour or sick jokes. But if it makes you smile, it's okay. We've had some really tough times in our lives. We are step family, and much as they all get on, most of the time we've had quite a lot of issues along the way, which have caused my husband and myself a lot of angst. But we have tried so hard to find something that we can smile about. And we're so lucky because we can still laugh at each other's jokes, even if you've heard them 100 times. But we still laugh. So if you can keep that sense of humour, I think really that is probably my number one tip. So then I'm going to look at my list, because it is fine. It's hard sometimes. The next one I wrote is about finding something beautiful in your life every day, in your world. And again, years ago, I was going through a very difficult breakup with my first husband, and life was really pretty grim. I had 2 girls at home. I had my daughter, one daughter and my son lived away from home. But it was really difficult. I was on a farm and I pretty well ran it myself with my then poodle called Snowy, who learnt to be a sheepdog. She was pretty amazing. So I decided I couldn't focus on all the bad things in my life. I decided I'd write a diary and I would write down at least one thing every day. Just one thing. And it could have been anything. It could have been the dog worked properly for me, or a bird came and was singing outside my door, or someone just happened to come when I needed help, and that often seemed to happen, or suddenly saw a rosebud starting to open. I mean, anything, just one thing. And I thought one day, if someone finds this diary of mine in 100 years' time, they'll think, this woman had such an easy time, little knowing that I had to be very careful about finding something every day. So I think that's a really important one. Find something every day that you can be happy about or be grateful for, and something that touches you. And as I say, it can be anything. So that's the number 2. I did write then something to be grateful for, even on the darkest day, but I think that actually goes in with that second one, so I won't worry about that. Another one I think is really important is to smile at passers-by. It might be their only contact in a whole day. They mightn't have anyone at home who smiles at them. They might, because they don't smile, or they live on their own, or at the moment there are so many homeless people. They might be having a really tough time. So just passing by someone, just give them a friendly smile. You don't even have to say hello. But that smiling that you do to help someone else actually is really good for you as well. It's something that you are doing for yourself as well as other people. And to me, I think that's really important, and I've read it takes fewer muscles to smile than it does to frown. So you're much kinder to your face if you can smile. Yeah, I think that's a really good one as well. So that's 3, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, this is another one that I think is really important, and it's one that I work with at the moment because there are so many things that are going on in the world that are not pleasant. And so I wrote down, don't believe everything you hear or read. Most of it's slanted and so easy to go down a rabbit hole and get stuck being indignant or angry. It's so true. There's heaps of stuff going on. I'd like to put a stronger word in that. And if you keep following everything and watching all the news and seeing all these awful things happening and people saying terrible things and being, well, really horrible to each other, you get stuck there too. So if you know there's nothing you can do at all, let it go. Just let it go. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Just try and put a lot of effort into making your little corner of the world a happy one. Make an effort. Make an effort for your world to be good, your home to be welcoming and loving. We don't have to listen to all that other stuff that's going on. And if you're doing that in your house, the energy of that will go out into the world around you. The neighbours they won't know what it is necessarily. They mightn't understand about energy, but the energy flows out. It really does. So be that little candle in the corner. Do you remember there was a hymn years ago? I can't quite remember it, but something about shine candle. I'll have to look it up because I'm not really doing a very good job, but I can't remember. Still trying. And this is my 5th one. And I heard this the other day, and I think it's brilliant. You have survived 100% of all your bad days you've ever had in your life, because you're still here. You've survived them. And you'll survive any present bad days or future bad days until one day we're not going to be here, and that's okay. So just remember, if you're thinking, how will I get through this? Just remember, I have survived 100% of the bad days I've had in the past, and I will survive this one. I think that's actually a really good one to end on. I hope these help you, and rest assured that I am not a perfect specimen. I am a work in progress. I am 82, I'll be 83 in December, and I am a work in progress. I try every day to be a better version of myself, to trust the universe has my back, and I find that actually quite difficult because I do get myself down rabbit holes, and if you're waiting for medical tests, as we both are at the moment, you do start worrying about things instead of thinking whatever will be, will be. So that's a really big one for me at the moment. I hope these have helped you, and if you see some value, go back and listen to it again and hear it. And I actually think I might come out and talk about some more, because I've got more to talk about. So I hope you have a good day or a good night wherever you are, and I'm sending love out to you, and just rest assured you will get through these difficult days.